Hello and welcome. My name's Colin and today I will be showing you around the recently launched Bluetti Handsfree 1 backpack and the Handsfree 1 battery solution. Let's start with the backpack. The backpack has been designed with two storage capacities in mind. The Handsfree 1 has a capacity of 42 litres, whereas the larger backpack, the Handsfree 2, has a storage capacity of 60 litres. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Handsfree 1 with you. The Handsfree 1 backpack is made of lightweight material with a splash resistant fabric. Bluetti does provide a rain cover should you need that extra water protection. The zips have been designed to help keep the water out as well. So when you unzip or zip up a compartment, you'll actually see that there's a rubber surrounding which covers the zip itself. Each backpack has a load capacity rating of up to 30 kilos. The backpack has four main compartments and I will call these zones. The front layer has plenty of pockets as well. We can see that there's an upper pocket, a middle and a lower pocket. The lower pocket has a zip closure. The middle pocket has a flap which is held by Velcro, and the top pocket has the same zip closure. In the middle of the backpack we can see around six material hooks, of which you can use carabiner clips or whatever to hang on there. Again, one of those useful things. The next zone is a place for where you can place your clothing and other items like that, maybe flat pack some shoes. There are a number of zipped compartments in this space, and of course you have a typical suitcase style strap and lock to help keep those items in place. Now do note that this particular zone can actually be expanded to give you a bit more depth. Moving on to layer 3, this is the main area where you might keep your equipment, your drones, chargers, cameras, lenses and all of these kind of things. Probably the main reason why you're looking at this, the Handsfree backpack itself. The compartments can actually be adjusted in size. There are multiple dividers which are Velcro stuck in place, so you can unstick those, make different compartments bigger, smaller and so on to best fit your equipment. Whilst we're looking at this particular area, if we look at the back of sort of the layer 2 where you would have your clothing, etc., there's actually a sleeve for a laptop or maybe an iPad. This is well padded and has a Velcro strap to help keep that whatever item you might have in there in place. And lastly we come to the final zone, which is in fact where the Handsfree 1 battery will actually be installed. Now this particular zone has some breathable air vents on either side of the backpack, and also the two flaps on either side, one on either side of the backpack, can actually be lifted up, secured into place and giving you access to the internal ports or maybe on the opposite side you need the 3-pin plug output connector. And lastly, on the exterior of the Handsfree One backpack itself, you have a mesh pocket, one on each side, and this might be useful for containing a water bottle or maybe an umbrella or something like that. And just to finally note, on the bottom of the Handsfree One backpack there are in fact two straps, which if you have, for argument's sake, a sleeping bag or maybe a cushion or something, you can actually put that in there, and it kind of hangs underneath the Handsfree One backpack whilst you're moving. Now that I've covered the Handsfree One backpack, let's focus on the unique Handsfree One power station. Let's start with the dimensions. I'll put these up on the screen for easy reading. However, these are length 28.6 centimetres or 286 millimetres. The width 9.5 centimetres or 95 millimetres. The height is 28 centimetres or 280 millimetres. The weight of the Handsfree One battery is approximately 5 kilos or 11 pounds. Let's take a look at the front of the Handsfree One. At the very top we can see the Handsfree One brand, and we can see the battery specifications underneath, this being 300 watts of output and a storage capacity of 268.8 watt hours. Underneath this we have a ventilation area, and on this particular one there is no active fan behind the grille. Underneath this we can see the main display area. This is the traditional Bluetti display, measuring 7 centimeters diagonally and is of the usual high quality bright and clear display. Okay, so underneath the display we have the three important buttons being power on off in the middle. We have DC output on the left, and then we have the AC output button on the right hand side. As usual, when these are depressed they will light up green when they are actually live and working. Underneath the buttons we can see the DC output area. We have here two USB Type-C rated at 100 watts, and then we have two of the legacy USB Type-A ports which are rated at 15 watts output. Underneath the DC outputs we can see another very small vent area, and then just below that we have our DC and PV input area. This is where you would connect your solar panel, and the DC and PV input has a voltage range of 12 to 28 volts at a maximum of 8.2 amps. This means that we have a maximum input of 200 watts of solar energy. Moving around to the side we can see the normal kind of specifications and data about the Handsfree power station. This includes a QR code should you need to manually add the Handsfree One to your Bluetti app. I also want to point out around the outside edge on this side we have something different to nearly every other power station that I've seen. We have some rubber pads or feet, if you will, and this means that the Handsfree One can actually be laid down and used in a horizontal position. Moving on to the rear, we can see at the top we have a 3-pin AC output socket. So yes, you can actually plug in a standard device with a standard 3-pin plug and power your device. Do note that the maximum power output on this is 300 watts. Next up, we have another air vent, but this time there is actually a fan inside. I've checked the fan and it looks like it's a DC powered fan, which means that it's the most efficient type of fan to be used in the device, and this will no doubt draw in ambient air, blow it through the air chamber within the power station itself, and allowing the internal components to be as cool as possible. Next up, we can see that we have the AC input. Now this is a standard kettle lead, as we call them, and of course this lead was provided in the accessory box. Lastly, right at the bottom of the unit, we can see the usual earthing and ground point. As with all Bluettis, the grounding screw is not necessarily needed unless you're connecting to maybe a campsite power feed or a venue where they just require you to earth your device. Coming around to the next side, we can see the handle at the top, and that's of a nice chunky size and giving you kind of a reassuring grip. Obviously we have the Bluetti logo, and that's about it for this side. Okay, so now we're back at the front. I think it's a good time to let's put up some statistics on the screen and show you a recap of the inputs and outputs. Okay, let's talk about charging. As with all Bluettis, we have 3 charging modes. We have standard, which is the default, we have turbo, and we have silent. So let me run through the numbers here. With standard, we can have a AC input range of up to 170. We can have a PV input up to 170. Or we can have a combination of AC and PV, again limited at 170 maximum. The approximate AC recharging time is 2 hours. Next up we have the turbo mode. On AC power, the turbo mode supports up to 300 watts maximum. On solar PV, it's 200 watts maximum, or solar PV and AC is a maximum of 300 watts. We also have a 0 to 80% recharge time of approximately 45 minutes, 0 to 100% in 1.5 hours. Silent mode, on the AC we have 100 watts maximum. Solar PV is 100 watts and a combination again is 100 watts maximum. The recharge time from 0 to 100 is approximately 3.5 hours. Like many power stations, the Handsfree one also supports power lift mode. Now power lift mode can provide up to a 450 watt of a power resistive load, so such as electric blankets and other heating devices. Do note, as I have previously mentioned on other videos, that the power lift mode is disabled by default. So should you need to use the power lift mode, you need to turn this feature on from the app, power up your device for as long as needed, and then when you are finished, please turn off the power lift mode. Bluetti does not recommend leaving the device in power lift mode, and it could cause some harm to your device. The Handsfree one also has grid self-adaptation mode. So this basically means that if you're connecting your power station to a grid source, and that grid source is maybe unstable in terms of the quality of the power feed, then you might find that some alarms are triggered. Now, if you do come across this, then it's suggested that you enable the grid self-adaptation mode, and then that should iron out kind of any of the fluctuations that the power station is actually detecting. The Handsfree one does not have Wi-Fi built in, but it does support Bluetooth and the smart app connectivity.